Also been joined by Marshal Asim Saab, is a defense analyst. Sir, thank you very much to have joined us. Our last conversation was so interesting from so many different perspectives. Now that Pakistan has downed around 25 of the Heron drones and 5 aircrafts, uh, strategically, does Pakistan have an upper hand?
Assalamu alaikum ji, and thank you very much for having me on your program. Uh, I would say that the Indians have conceded to Pakistan Air Force, and Pakistan Air Force has emerged as the victor, and they are the winners. So that is as far as the Indian Air Force is concerned, that they have lost the air war against Pakistan, and if they continue with this kind of an activity, they will be given a very befitting reply. As I have always been saying, that Pakistan Air Force is the next generation Air Force. And this is not going to be very easy for any country, and especially our eastern neighbor, that they will be able to achieve any kind of an ascendancy on us. Now, after all this, what has happened yesterday, the Indians have resorted to very mean tactics, and mean tactics like sending drones and going for an option which is exercised by those countries who cannot afford to fight wars or are not modern enough to challenge the adversaries. In our case, the Indians, where they all have always been boasting of their air power, have been subdued yesterday. And sending drones very clearly indicate that they are wanting to go for an option where they do not lose the aircraft, and in turn they send those small toys which are much smaller and will be able to give them some sort of a face saving, that the activity that we are undertaking is not observed and not seen by the people, or is at a very low scale. But again, I would look at this activity also with a lot of interest, and see that this is also violation of our sovereignty and integrity when they violate their Pakistani airspace and come over. So this activity cannot be taken very lightly, but at the same time, they have suffered a loss of 25 plus drones going down, and not achieving whatever they would have liked to, if at all they were used in a very aggressive mode and for destroying of targets or achieving some or inflict some sort of a damage. Uh, I am not sure that the 6, 7 drones that have come to Pakistan, except for one, there have been unfortunate injuries. Otherwise, minor damage is there, but the damage is not the consideration. Consideration is the human lives, the respect for human lives, and the other is that our airspace has been violated.
That is so true. Our airspace has been violated, and by the looks of it, it doesn't seem as if India is going to stop anytime soon. It was all over Indian websites that it is being said that this operation, so-called Operation Sindoor by India, is not going to. This is not the end of that operation. Pakistan's policy of restraint. I'd like your point of view on that. Our DGISPR says there are multiple response options on the table. What options could, in your point of view, Pakistan consider in the light of this increased aggressive posturing by India?
First of all, in my opinion, the response that the armed forces will have on their table is that we should consider it to be a very calibrated and very well calculated one. Because until or unless it is calibrated and well calculated, there will be no difference between India and Pakistan. It is they who go for a response by the knee-jerk reaction. We don't want to go by knee-jerk reaction. And especially when you are attacking, the options are always with you. And in this case, No response is also not an option. It has to be there. Until or unless we pay back in the same kind what they are trying to do across Pakistan, they they will never be able to understand this thing because, as you know, the present mindset of the Indian leadership is based on Hindutva and the RSS, and they have that thinking has colluded. Because that thinking has colluded, the end result is full of venom. And venom is against, first of all, Muslims, minorities, and then the neighbors. Uh, if you look around India, which neighbor is very happy with them? None. What do they want to do? They want to become a regional power. Who's challenging them to become a regional power? Pakistan. Uh, Other than that, probably the other countries are, according to their size and their strength, agreeing and not agreeing, but the balance still tilts towards the Indians' decision making. So, in the region also, there is nobody in the neighborhood of the Indians who are very happy with them. Now, if they want to become a regional power, obviously Pakistan challenges them to become a regional power because you have to behave like a regional power, which is only then you will be respected to that level. Otherwise, you are not a regional power. Now, in addition to that, when they were finding it difficult to get into that slot, they started to run after the Americans and wanted to be the net security provider in the region. Now, if they want to become net security provider in the region, then this is not an option also for them because it's not very easy. But for that, the Indians are wanting to do anything and they are trying to become, play the role of a policeman in the Indian Ocean region and want that they should be given some sort of a role so that they are able to have their hegemony established in the region, if not the regional power. And their ambition to become a world power is also scuttled because if you are not a regional power, how can you become an international power? So, keeping all these things in mind, where you are not able to achieve what you want, and you have aggressive designs, and you have a leader like Mr. Modi, who is a mastermind of getting into a massacre operation the way he conducted that when he was the chief minister in the year 2000 in Gujarat. Everybody knows that how lethal he is and how irrational he is and what kind of mad theories that he can, propagate and implement. So, in my opinion, the response by Pakistan is going to be keeping all these things in mind, but yet it will stay calibrated. And I don't think so that they will go for an option where they also make sure that the semblance is also projected in whatever we are doing. So the most important thing is that we are two nuclear states. I mean, no, the history proves that no nuclear states have gone to war to start with. And at the same time, I would also like to say that there is no option available below the nuclear threshold also. I mean, if the Indians think that we can enter into a war being nuclear states, no. This also does not give the Indians an option that we will be able to get into some sort of a war because two nuclear states cannot do that, and Indians have actually don't have that option. They actually, if you look at the armed forces, if the numbers are not considered. Equipment wise, we have parity in army, we have a reasonable strength in our navy, and the air force has already proven its mettle of having been the next generation air force. Our resolve as armed forces, the leadership that we have, brave leaders, very good understanding, and I can say that because of having worked with the present day chief. I mean, he is a very brave man, and he has a lot of potential to do wonders. And one of the wonders we have seen yesterday. So overall, I think what do we have on our side? We have on our side that we are a state who has deterrence available. First of all, good leadership, then good armed forces, and parity in most of the affairs. So when you compare two sides with this kind of balance, then it is a situation which is alarming for the Indians, because when there's a parity, then they should know that it is not going to work out. And when if you put in our resolve as a nation, I think we have a better resolve than any other country in the world. And especially against Indians, this resolve is, multiplied by 10. So there is a lot of, difficult times for the Indians coming if they do not behave and wait for our resolve and response.
Why, of course, they are moving towards a provocative and a kind of a panic mode in which they send all of these drones into Pakistan, and they have also seen what the fate of those drones were. But in this whole context, how important should be the role of the important bodies in the West, whether they be organizations such as the US, United Nations, sorry, or countries such as the US, United Kingdom, the European Union, shouldn't they be more proactive now that the risk is greater of an escalation of the current provocative designs by India?
Absolutely. When you talk of the West and the developed countries and the world powers, the first thing which comes to my mind is that they are also influenced by the media and what is happening in the world. I think the international media in this case has not played a fair and a potent role, where they have projected how the Indians are today and how they are behaving. I mean, whatever little that I have seen in my reckoning is that when we were talking of kills against the Indians, they were trying to, defend them more than an Indian would defend. Uh, and this was surprising that the media is supposed to be neutral, and they are supposed to propagate whatever is happening and not get into a propaganda mode. And in one of the cases, the host was saying that, well, you are claiming this, but we have our own ways of getting it checked and all. I mean, you could use a very neutral type of language which does not promote the other side to speak the, anything other than the truth. I won't like to use the word lies, but anything other than truth. And they should have had, pressure on the Indians also, that they should not be going for an aggressive option or a kinetic option, and they should sit down and talk. When we had offered them that we are wanting to have a discussion with you, and if you don't want to have a discussion on this issue, then we can go for an inquiry. We can have a third party inquiry done. I mean, how fair was our offer? Very fair. We were very cooperative, but unfortunately, the Indians did not want to show any kind of a sanity. So there goes the role of the international media. I think there has been a lot of gap between reality and to project Pakistan. Now we come to the world pass. I was very critically going over the statement by Mr. Donald Trump that after tit for tat, they should be talking. And I mean, frankly speaking, I have not been able to interpret this term tit for tat, because uh, if the Indians have attacked us and now it's our turn to react, so it's not over. The tat is yet to come. So
And that is
that
true.
is where my mind goes, into a question mark that how come it is being assumed that if they attacked us and we gave them a bloody nose and it's over. So in
Okay.
my reckoning, it's not.
Okay, it's not over, of course. Thank you very much, Air Marshal Asim Suleiman, Sub Defense Analyst, to have joined